Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be making this trendy ashoke two-piece. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. So for the front panel, we'll be needing 6 pieces of ashoke. That's 6 pieces on 4, that's 3 3. So because the bottom of the ashoke is hemmed and the length of the pant we are cutting is length 44, so we'll minus the band only. So I have already minused the band and with ½ inches allowance for joining, so that's 42.5 because we'll be using length 44. So I marked out the hip, 8 inches for the hip, 8 points, then 2.5 inches for the crotch because I'm cutting for a size 12. I'm cutting for a size 12. That is why I used 2.5 inches for the crotch. So I came in by ½ inches on the waistline, connected it to the crotch because I don't like the flap looking big. So you connect it like so. On the hip line, I marked 10.5 inches for the hip and 2 inches for allowance. So on the bottom, to get the midpoint of the bottom, I got the fabric unfold. It's 14 inches. So 14 divided by 2, that is 7. So to get the bottom, we are using 12 inches for the bottom. So we marked 6 inches on both sides. After getting the midpoint, you can see it, we marked 6 inches on both sides and allowance of ½ inches on both sides. So we connected it to the crotch. You connect it like so to the crotch. You connect it like so, and the other side, so ½ inches. You connect it to the hip. You connect it to the hip line. So cut it out like so. I don't want to cut from where I came in by ½ inches because I want to show you again so you can see better. In my previous video, I did same thing. I always do that to all my pants so it can have that nice fitting on the waistline, so it won't look too big or too bulgy on the waistline. So this is it here again. I came in by ½ inches, so you can see how I cut it out. Just follow this line, just follow how I did it and you'll see what I'm talking about. For the back panel and the waistline, we came up by 2 inches for sitting properly, so it can sit properly on the hip. So on the crotch, we came out by 3 inches, then 2 inches to the bottom. In my previous video, you'll see how you get a well-detailed explanation in my previous video. So we cut it out like so. Cut it out like so. The allowance and everything, it's already added on the front panel. So on the back panel, we just added to the crotch so it can sit properly. Added 3 inches to the crotch, and this is how it is. And 2 inches down to the bottom. For the pocket, you mark 6 inches down from the waistline. Then on the waistline you mark 2.5 inches and you connect it like so. So you cut out the pockets. So we'll be using a 10 inches length for the pockets. In my previous video, as I said earlier, the pocket is well detailed in my previous video. I'll be dropping the link. So this is the 2 pockets. So place the front panel on. We'll place the front panel on the pockets that we cut. So this is how it is. So we'll sew it and we'll show you how it is. So yeah, we've sewn the pants, sewn the pocket. So this is how the pocket was fixed. So it was sewn inside. So sewn inside, double stitching, and this is how it looks outside. Very neat. So to get the band, we'll measure the waist all round. So that is 45 inches. So to get our band, we are going to cut 4.5 inches by 45 inches. 4.5 inches, not unfold. When it is unfold, it will be 2.5 inches. So this is 4.5 inches by 45 inches. So at the midpoint, the joining, okay, this is it here, to get the rope, to get the good finishing of the rope, because we'll be inserting a rope. So to get the good finishing, you leave 0.5 inches for hemming. You hem the rope side so that when you join the rope, it will look neat. So just follow the steps like so. So you see how it's looking neat. So you leave 0.5 inches for joining. You open 0.5 inches here. So this is the band. You join the band and you put the band inside the elastic. You put the elastic inside the band and sew it together like so. As you are sewing it, you'll be pulling the elastic so to fit in the band. Okay, for the band, for size 12 for the band, we used band 32 because it's also going to have rope. So we use 32 inches for the band. So when you want to measure the band, you can use 32 or 33 inches. Depends on your choice, but 32 will be more preferably. So now we are joining the band and the pants together. So this is how it is. It looks very neat and beautiful. So now we are cutting the danshiki. So I'm counting the pieces of ashaoke we'll be needing. Okay, the length is 36 and we need 10 pieces of ashaoke to get the front panel. So 10 pieces unfold. So you see the bottom also is already hemmed. So we'll be needing 10 pieces unfold. That is 20 pieces not unfold. 10 pieces unfold because it's a cut together. It doesn't have joining on the shoulder. So we folded it into 4 places. So 3.5 inches for the neckline and 10 inches for the depth. So you can see it, you connect it like so. You connect it like so. So the front and the back has the same neckline. The same neckline for the front and the back. So I'm showing you again that it is folded in 4 places. It's a cut together neck. It doesn't have joining on the shoulder. I use the length 40. So you can use your preferred length. If you want it longer, shorter, you can use any length of your choice. So after cutting the neck, I measured it. This is it. When I opened it, I measured it was 11 inches. So I took the actual to cut my neckline. So to get the neckline, we are going to be using 4.5 inches, not unfold. 4.5 inches by 12 inches plus allowance. I think I used 14 inches by 14 inches plus allowance. So you cut it out like so. So this is it, unfold. Unfold it is 2.5 inches for the allowance. So you place it on the neckline. You sew it. This is it. I'm using pin to hold it so you can understand. So you place it like this. Place it like so on the neckline. You can pin it down first, or you just go ahead to your machine and sew it. So this is how it's going to look. So I will do the other parts and show you how it is. So I'm showing you how it's going to look after sewing. So we have already sewn it. We've sewn the neckline. We've joined it together with the danshiki. So this is how you are going to be finishing the neckline. So you just take one part, fold it in on the other parts. So I pinned it down, take it to my machine and sew it. But this is how it's going to be. So you just sew it down. Do that on the back also, like so. Do it like so. You sew it, and so this is the finishing. For the pocket, I marked 17.5 inches for the pocket. So to get the pocket, we mark 10.5 inches. 1 inch is for folding it inside and 0.5 inches for joining. So for the arm, 11 inches. So we just held, for joining, we just use 1 inch to join it at the back. That is what I'm showing you. 1 inch to join it to the bottom. It's a danshiki. It's not meant to be tight. It's a very free and comfortable outfit. So this, we added tassel. It's optional. So this is it after sewing it. So beautiful. Different ways you can style it. So beautiful. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you.